we discussed about this slide, right? So the difference between customer and vendor and how CVA integration will work. What is the common part between customer and supplier? BP data is common and customer and supplier is different. Using the CVA, we will differentiate the roles and authorizations between these two. And then we will have a different UIs for customer and vendor, right? So this is what we discussed. And also we discussed about the consolidation part. The consolidation, right? This is the consolidation. So how consolidation will work? The different line of business process. For each line of business process, initially we will load the data. So if there is any data discrepancies in the system, when you are loading lakhs of records into the system, so there are huge data errors or quality errors. Let's say for suppliers, we will have too much duplicate records. We will need to correct everything. So we cannot sit on the system and correct each and every line or every supplier record. So to avoid that process, we will have a consolidation and mass processing. So consolidation Fury app will be used in MDG. In traditional method, we will have other options, LSMW, or in S4 HANA, we can use LTMC or LTMOM transaction codes to process the data. So it will also check. It will come in the migration. So my migration part also we will discuss later. So this one for MDG consolidation app will work closely. So we can use this consolidation Fury app and we can calculate the best record among the duplicates, everything. It will be removed and calculated, and it will give you the best record calculation and activates the master data. So there are some certain steps we need to check, and I'll show you in the system. Yeah. So this looks like this when you are uploading the data for consolidation. So we will have initially we will load the data from Excel file, right? Excel or CSV file. We will load the data and then we will do the initial checks. Initial checks through BRF backend. It will check some rules will be executed, or we can write some custom logic also using the ID. So it will validate the data initially what we are loading into the system. Suppose if we are loading a BP, so there were few checks actually, whether the BP business partner ID and the data, the tables, Excel sheet, what we have uploaded, is it properly properly added or not. So it will check here, and if there are any errors, it will give you the error list. And in the standardization, again, there are some other validations, additional validations, right? Additional validations will be happen. Again, it is through BRF. So it will give you a list of records. If there are any errors, we can correct the errors and go ahead. In the match, it will identify the duplicate checks. If there are any duplicate records, it will check the duplicate records and then give you the list where you can identify how much percentage is duplicated. If you want to remove the records, you can remove it. If you want to add some additional data, you can add it, right? And then we can calculate the record. So here you can see how many records are calculated, how many records, how many records we can use, how many records we can use and activate, right? How many records we can ignore, how many records we can delete, how many records we can modify. The overview will be displayed over here. And again, there are some validations. It will go for approval. And finally, data will get activated. So once it is activated, if the change request is configured, it will trigger the change request. Otherwise, the direct activation will happen. The similar process will happen for mass processing also. This is consolidation and mass processing also. We will have a similar concept. I'll show you that. Okay. So for each and every step, what we will do in this, just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So here in initial load, you can see here what is initial load. In the initial load, we will have a XML format. We will have a template. We can extract the template, or we can get the template prepared by some other team, BODS team, the migration team will give you the list. Using that Excel, we can prepare the data and then upload. Okay, so this is just like here also you can see use any ETL tool to file source tables for consolidation. So you can use any ETL tool to load the data. Right? They will help you to load the data. Once the business partner is loaded into the system, it will be again the SAP tables, LFA1, LFB1, right? Another information. And in initial check, if there are any checks, it will give you warnings and error messages. Here you can see how many records are in error, how many records are added, and how many records are green means correct. You can see the number of records also, and the standardization, process step specific KPIs. Here also it will get validated. All the data services and the backend BRF plus will be called. If you want, we can add additional BRF validation checks, and the rules will be triggered, and then it will give you the results in this step. For each and every step, you can see the status in right hand side. So how much percentage it is completed and the match. So once we complete standardization, again we will have a match. So here we will have in backend it will execute the fuzzy search, HANA search and all. The fuzzy search it's like a best search for the data quality wise. So quality, like it will check the proper data for each and every field, and it will give you the list of records which are duplicated, which are not duplicated, how much percentage is duplicated. Null we will get. If there are any errors, we will get the errors. And if there are no errors, you can get a zero errors. And also you will have a active records. If there are already, if you are uploading some data, some 1,000 records, if there are any records are already available in the system, you can see with active records with blue color. So like that you can identify the records, and also you can the next calculate best records. Here you can see with the details like this. You can see the name, country, postal, city, everything for the BB. So what we are uploading, we can check cross check all the data. We can reject or we can approve, and then it will go for validation. Okay, before validating, here you can do the best record calculation, and this calculation again it is required some certain roles, right? So roles will be added based on the authorization. If you have authorization, you will get this process ID, and then it will be processed further. Okay, and the validation once this validation be replaced and source system all this validation, the configured validation will be completed, and then record will be activated like this. Okay, so if there are any errors, it will be ignored. You can remove the error records and go ahead. Okay. Once it is activated, you can get the data in the system.
This validation configuration will be done. It exists from the beginning, or we have to configure that?
Yeah, validation, it exists actually. Whatever you have a validation concept. So
Okay.
this validation also trigger if suppose if you are configured a validation derivations, so that will also get triggered here.
Okay. And also, if we want, we can modify also, right?
Right. We can, it means like it will trigger all the validations, whatever the validations you have added.
Okay.
It will give you the list of errors saying that the postal ID is wrong, city is wrong, saying this and that. You can modify it. You no need to go back and correct the data in the Excel. Here itself, you can modify. You can have edit option, and you can replace the values, whatever the error records are there. These error records, you can have here. I'll show you in the system. You will have edit option. With edit, you can correct that and go ahead. So then you will get zero errors, and then you can activate it. So once it is activated, it will show like this, right? Let me go.
And also, if I want, I can remove certain fields out of the scope for validation, right?
Right. Yeah, we
Okay.
can remove that. Yeah, we can remove that. Yeah, so consolidation and active records. Again, if you go one by one here in the slides, you can see what and how we need to do this, right? Step by step activation. Okay, so selection, you will have a best record calculation, validation, and activation. So generally we'll have a scope, best record calculation, validation, and activation. This we will need to add scope of fields and this validation steps, activation steps in MDC AMG. I'll show you that. And if required, we can check the data and then delete it. We can approve, reject, right? We can add whatever we need, and then yeah, let me go. And then we can activate. So here you can see the percentage of activation. If it is stopped for review, so for best record calculation, if it is stopped for review, we cannot activate it. We cannot continue this. This continue button will be disabled. And who has authorized for this step, they will be able to click on continue. They will be checked. They will be able to check this data and click on continue to go for further steps execution. Right. This is all the steps how consolidation will get executed. Maybe we will see in the system also. I checked in the system, but there are some issues in it, it seems. However, let me show where it is. So to go to Fury, we will have a transaction code FLP/N UI to FLP. Okay, before going there, let me the date and topic, consolidation and mass processing. Okay, the transaction code is for Fury Launchpad. This is the one /N UI to FLP. You can go there, and here we will have a master data business partners. In master data business partner, if you scroll down, you can see mass maintenance and mass loads. And if you see the icons here, the apps, so this is, we will have export option. So here also for export master data business partner, export master data BP relations. It means like we can get data from the system. We can export the existing data and modify, and then we can upload it through mass process, right? But here, if you see in consolidation, do you have export, like, do you have extract option, right? You don't have. You can only do, you can upload this data, right? You don't have option to download. So it means like this consolidation will be used for the initial loads. You will get the file from BODS team, some other ETL team member, they will prepare the Excel and provide you the list of records to consolidate and upload into the system, MDG system. So using this process, if you are using the consolidation, you can use this consolidation. So let's say now I'm uploading some data for business partners. So I have extracted from here only. Let me check how it works. Now I'm going inside this import data for consolidation.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
So here you will have a source file. I'll take some source file. This is my sample data, selected business partner data. In source system, you can take anything and skip and continue. So this is already, the standard process. This is uploaded, and then now I do import, already exist. Let me take the other one. So I'll take the other one. I'm just importing this Excel into my system first. Okay. So here you can see whether the import is success or not. So here you can say it is success, right? We have imported successfully. And now you will have a consolidate tab. In this button, you can click on this consolidation button. Yeah. So now you will have a process template. You will have a process template. Which data you will be consolidating. So you will have business partner data, load business partner data, consolidate business partner data, consolidate BP with derivations, right? So there are different process template. These templates we will need to configure in MDC IMG. So for now, let me take the load business partner data and give here the demo consolidation underscore BP. Okay. And click on save button. So from here, it will start the process. You will have a process ID. Process ID will be created, and then you will have validate and activate. Now let me click on start. So I just clicked on start. You can see the process, initial status. Not sure whether it is working or not. Yeah. So it is working. Now you can see there are some errors. Enter a value for the field country. So here in the validation step itself, it got into error. So now I clicked on show details. So if I have edit option, I can edit this. See now I'm in overview page. Here you will have a message. What is this message? Enter a value for field country. So now here I can say country. I'll select the country, right? I can select the country and let me try to add country. I don't have a option to add here actually. So we will get a replace value here, and then you can let me try here if I have option to add general data here. If we have country field, then we can add country code, but there is no country key for this. I cannot proceed with this. Let me go back and try with other process template. I'm just going back, and here I'll try directly manage this one, consolidation, manage consolidation business partners. So here, let me create the process. I'll give you the name as BP underscore demo consolidate of source records template. And this time I will take load business partner data source. So source here. If I click on this, nothing is configured properly. Let me go back. Let me go back here again, 148 and 149 with consolidation of source record. I got these 4-5 steps, and again there are some errors. Maybe here also I don't have edit option. Generally we will have edit option. You can see the error records. What are the errors? If you click on show results, it will give you the list of errors. So here in the overview, you can remove the error records or you can correct the error records. Here I have only, yeah, Rakesh, any doubt?
If I might have missed it, but where this usage of match group scoring and best record calculation comes or involves, which part of this action?
It will be there in the next steps. First,
Oh,
we are in initial loading only. So once
okay,
we correct this, then we can go ahead.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. The error details you can see the city, field, and the street. So if I don't want this record, I can remove this record in the overview. If I can correct, maybe I can correct the data. Here in this system, I don't have edit option actually to correct the data to warnings, threshold. This is okay. And you will see in real time actually, you will see list of error records, warning records, and successful records. We can ignore the error records by simply doing a right click and left click. From here also, you can have option to remove the records, or if you go inside, again you will have option to remove from the overview. You can take the records, select the records, error records, and here you will have a remove option. Suppose I want to remove this, I can remove from the list. So it will display the pop-up which record you want to select, you want to delete. Only remove the records. Also delete the source record. Okay, I'll click on OK. Then one record will be deleted. The selected record will be deleted. From this, out of total 6 records, one will be deleted. And let me go back. So now can you see it is 5. Now if I go back, now we are in initial check. We have to go matching and then best record calculation. So we cannot continue. Let me click on continue. Let's see what will happen. Even though there are errors, I clicked on continue. So here you can see it is checking the fuzzy search. So it means like in backend, whatever the data we are uploading, it will check each and every field for the best data and the quality data. See, match by name, address, and ID numbers, right? You will have matching 100%. You can see the status, groups, and approved 2 and rejected 0. And this record is source record only. Okay, one record So it means like it's already there. Number of selected match groups. One record in the selected match group. There are two records are there. Let me continue and see what will happen in the next best record calculation. So here it is checking the rules for tables. I should get the continue button. So until that I can calculate. It is still working in backend. It is still working. So since we have only one, the record, which other items? There are 5 items, I think, and one BP we have uploaded. It is still calculating. Here you can see the details. New single record or 3. You can go into the details and see what are the records. Now here you can see city, address, region, and then some other information. If you want to display more information, you can select from here, select all and click OK. You will see the other information, whatever the information you require, you can take it. And here everything is read only. Here I'm not able to edit it. A business partner, so it is read only. I don't have edit option. So otherwise I would have changed the data. I don't have edit authorization here. Source ID, street is blank. The other information you can review and modify. Okay. So now let me go ahead with validation. Now if I click on continue, so in real time you don't have a continue button actually. For each and every step you will have authorization. You will need to get the authorization. Only the authorized persons can have this continue button. So now single records and new best record is 1. Both are in error. You can see the error. This is generally if there is error, it will be ignored. System will be failed for activation. And I don't have edit access here. Let me see what will happen. At least if we get the activation failed, so that will be good. We have at least completed one process. Let me click on continue. And here you can see in the backend how it is executing, how we have configured in MDC AMG. So it is in activation, not activated. So process is 100% completed and it's not activated. If it is activated, you can see green color, it's activated. So this is for consolidation. So we have to configure these steps in MDC AMG. And similarly for mass processing also we will have like we can export the data and we can modify business partner data and do the same way like how we have done the consolidation. For mass processing also we will have a similar concept. We have to create the process, and here the process template will be available. You can select the process template and browse the source file which you have downloaded and modified. Suppose I want to change this data. Let me open it.
The question is this
Yes.
mass processing and mass consolidation only available for flat files, or directly we can connect to the system to system? Like a legacy, I have a system and I need to connect to the MDG system.
Yeah. So this
So that option is
consolidation,
there.
So ETL tool, we can use any ETL data, ETL tool system, let's say BODS. BODS will give you the list of records. They will prepare the Excel sheets for business partners. So here we have only BUT 000 and KNA1 data. But in real time, we will have address details, we will have a purchase or details, we will have authorizations, everything we will have. We will have list of table data, and then we can upload that information.
With the
Data you will
tabs.
get from them. Yeah, with tabs. There are multiple tabs like this. So this is
So it means that this mass process and mass consolidation only, it is the input is a flat file, like as Excel or CSV file. That's it, right?
Excel CSV. Yeah.
Okay.
Excel CSV file. We cannot use the notepad. We can use Excel or CSV file. So now here.
So here my understanding is we can export the structure and we'll hand over to the data migration team to fill out all the relevant details, and then they will send back to us and we will upload into the MDG system, and then it will replicate to the transaction systems. Is that correct understanding?
Right. So here, if you do through other migration options, if you export this data into MDG system through other options like LTMC and LTMOM. All these MDG related checks will not be triggered. All the MDG related validation and derivations will not be triggered. It will be skipped and data will be pushed into the system. But if you do this consolidation and mass processing, it will check all the validations, derivations, default values, whatever you have in the MDG system, everything will be checked and it will give you the best record.
Okay, I
So that's
understood that. So
yeah.
the LTMC has the same steps, it is there. Validation,
Right. Yeah.
all, yeah, I know that I worked in LTMC. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. That is why here it is skipping that steps. So otherwise, it has to do. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
LTMC also will have a similar concept, but it will not execute the MDG related validations and it will directly get activated. There is no option to create the change request. So here we will have a change request creation option also. Okay. Once
Yeah,
it is
understood.
activated, yeah, change request will be generated. Fine, right? So you can modify the data. Here name to, maybe I can add a name to test, right? Like this, I can add the data and I can upload this information.
Yeah. So why I particularly asked this question, right? So you try to add a country and it is not showing, right? The same thing in LTMC. So
Yeah.
we
Okay.
cannot add once it is uploaded. We cannot add any column at all. You need to revert back everything, and freshly we need to add and fill the data, and then again we need to
Right.
import the data. So that
Right.
is what the exercise. Yeah.
But here
Yeah,
you have
I got
option
it.
to edit it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Fine. Okay. Now I'm doing this mass processing. Let me see. This app is also, I think we don't have a proper data to go ahead, but I'll show you how it works. So this is also similar. It will create the process ID, and you can see the template, and you will have steps: edit, validate, and activate. There are 4 steps, and you can see the fields are in scope. What are the fields in scope for this process template? Okay. So there are 150 fields. If you click, you can see what are the fields are going to check in this processing. So now I click on start button. So the process is started. So now we are in edit step.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
So it will trigger all the validations and derivations, everything related to the MDG, and give you the list of errors and warnings. The backend it is calculating. So here I have selected only one record, but in real time you will have huge data to load, and the system also a bit faster. It won't take much time like this for single record. Okay. And now I'm getting unchanged rows. Like I'm not changing. I have changed the name too, but I don't know why it is not considering. If you change, it will display the changed rows, what you have changed in general data or customer general, what you have changed, which table it is changed, and unchanged, inserted. If there are any data, other datas are added, other entries are added. You can see the inserted rows. If you have deleted anything, it will show the deleted records. So there is no continue button. It is disabled because of the errors. So there are 2 errors. Some configuration package number could not be processed. Right. There are 2. You can see from here also how many records are there. Okay. Number of selected records and edit records. Now I can see here edit, but I don't know whether it will work or not. No more records in the process type. So if I click on edit records, it should give me the list of records where I can edit this information and then go ahead. And also I have rollback option. Suppose I have some 5 to 6 steps I stopped somewhere in the fourth step. I need to roll back. So this rollback will work wherever you want. You can select this and simply click on rollback. It will go back to the previous step. Now I click on this edit and click on rollback. So it will go here. So now I got to the initial step. So this is how it works. The process is same. It will execute each and every step and then finally activates. The activation with the change request or without change request. This is the configuration part. So where we can configure this can be configured in MDC AMG. Okay, the transaction code is MDC AMG. So in MDC AMG, you will have a master data governance, consolidation, and mass processing. This is only for consolidation and mass processing. You can see this documentation, why the scope, scope is required, why adapters, specify adapters, why business rules are required. You will have a documentation here, right? But generally, we will maintain scope of fields and also we will maintain a process model. Now, if I go under this configure process models, I can see what are the models are available. For BP, we will have 147. For products, 194. For relations, BP relations, we will have 1405. And if there are any custom, we can add a custom process. Okay. So now let me take 147 and tables. I click on table. You can see what are the fields. What are the tables and table fields are in scope for this. So now I will take BUT 000 and let me click on table fields. You can see the list of fields where you can see read only. Is it read only or editable? If it is read only, if whatever the field, the sensitive fields are available under BOT 000, I will be making them as read only. So I can update this config I can update. If some fields are not required to show, I can use a hide option hidden. You can update like this, right? So for each and every field and tables, you can check here what are the tables are available and the joins, if there are any joins between the tables. For BUT 000, BUT 020, I have a link tables joins between these BUT 020 and the other tables, address tables, right? So you can see that and you can configure there. And yeah, and if I come back again, so this is done. Now we can add a configure scope also. For now, it is not required since we are using this standard one. And also you will have configure best record calculation. Let me go inside this best record calculation. Here you can see best record calculation, BRF plus, and completeness, recency source system, right? For each and every table, we can check for BRF. For field level also, completeness is for field level. For each and every field, we can check this checkbox. This is all a configuration or customization. You need to read each and every step over here and add if it is required, right? And also you will have validation, configure validation, right? Validation will have config IDs, validate and remove, unchanged record, validate data for DMI process, and some config steps. Here we will have change request checks. So if you want to trigger a change request related checks, you can check a BRF checks and workflow. So it will be a config, like if you check this functionality, it will be trigger automatically in backend. Configure filter and remove and evaluation. Let me go inside this. Here nothing is there. Evaluation also, I think it won't be there. Now let me go here. Activation, how it should activate. I'm going inside this consolidation and configuration. So how it will activate. So here you will have new record, updated record, and match groups. These three combinations, and you need to configure this direct activation, whether it is a direct activation or with a change request. Activation with change request. So this is a benefit using this consolidation or mass processing app. You can create the change request. And now I have chosen the direct activation. So here also direct activation, and for update records also it's a direct activation of best record, and this is also direct activation if I have chosen the change request direct, activation with change request. Then I have to provide my change request here. Change request type I can take from here. Type of change request I can take. I can enter the change request type. And then the change request will be triggered for this. Again, the other process will be triggered. This is a Fury process. And again, the MDG process will also be linked from here. So if you want to validate, apply validation rules, you can choose this, apply validation rules and execute. Runtime also you can set it, but you don't set this because it should trigger immediately. And again, if I come back, configure process template. So this is important. You can see this process template here. This is a process template. SAP change business partner data process template. So this is a process template. So here you can see specify process template. So these are the process template. There are few standard and you can see some custom also available. Overseas SAP change business partner data. SAP change business partner data. Where is it? SAP change business partner data. Change BP relationship. Change business partner data. This is the one. Change business partner data. And workflow is also available, and you can see mass processing. Here it is, mass processing. And there are other process IDs also we will have. If I come back and then go for consolidation, so this is the mass processing. And if I go for consolidation relationships, this is, let me take this. Here we will have process template, load business partner data, and load business partner data. This is the one. See here, you can see this is for consolidation. This is for mass processing. And also if I scroll right, you can see delete source, and delete source is for consolidation. Delete source is not applicable. There are few settings because the consolidation is like you will be loading the new data, fresh data into the system. If there are any existing data available in the system, so it will be replaced. It will be replaced, and it will be replaced with the updated record through this process, right? And also you will have, if I click on this drop down, you will have some other options also. You can use anyone like a data quality evaluation, mass deletion. There are different purposes actually. So mass maintenance, right? Mass process, consolidation, data quality evaluation. So you can create a different templates and use that templates and steps for this. Now I have selected this consolidation and I click on process step. You will have only two, validation and activation, right? So here also I have validation and activation. So whatever you configure here, so that will be appear here. And how it will be executed? It will be executed through this adapter class. The standard class will be available. You can create another steps also for this. If I want to add another edit step, I can add it here by clicking new entries. I can add one more step, right? I'll have steps here, right? I can add, maybe I can add evaluate step. I can add filter and remove, right? Like this, I can add the steps, and I can add the authorization also. So let me take this one, the other one. I'm going to template step. So here I have edit, validate, and activate. This is the adapter class, and also I can add the authorization. So in authorization group, I can add this authorization group for each and every step. For each step, I can provide the authorization. Then only whoever have the access, whoever has this authorization group access, then only they can click on continue button. They have access to go for, execute the step. It is not applicable for everyone, right? So in MDC, IMG, you need to configure everything, a process, a template, scope, everything. After completing this, then you can see those steps or process templates. And backend, the Fury, whether it is a consolidation or mass processing. Okay. And also, do we have migration one? Maybe that concept we will discuss later. If you have any doubts on this, you can ask me.
Okay. So this one, mass processing and hierarchy management, Are we dealing with the hierarchies also, or hierarchy management is nothing but levels? I mean, just a
Mass
quick.
processing, this is also comes under a mass processing hierarchy level. Let me see what it is. Yeah, the concept is same here. We can execute with some hierarchies here, but mass
Okay.
process, yeah. So you can have a multiple tables, like you will have general data, like plan data, and then other data also you can have, and execute at one go. So that is a
Okay.
hierarchy process, right?
Okay.
Yeah.